What's up, guys, and welcome back to Wake Up Entertainment. So, Advocate Mnisi was not happy with Brigadier Gininda at all. He quickly objected when Gininda was now talking of Simpiwe Buthelezi. So, Gininda has this statement from Simpiwe Buthelezi that implicates accused number 3 and accused number 4. But there is one massive problem here. It is Gininda himself who took this statement from Simpiwe Buthelezi. There was nobody else when Gininda took that statement. Now, to make matters even worse, Simpiwe Buthelezi is no longer with us. So this is what happened.
I've indicated that this witness is allowed to waddle and say whatever that he wants. And he knows that what he's doing now is quite wrong. He's now talking about Simpiwe Buthelezi. And we have been told that it's the last witness to come and testify on behalf of the state here. But and the state just seated here does not call this its very own witness to court. Unless they are going to call that witness, that Simpiwe Buthelezi to come and testify. But this witness cannot be allowed just drop in names whenever, and names of people whenever he wants. That is totally unprocedural. And in fact, I'm going to request that that aspect of the evidence that is just mentioned now, it should be redacted from the court record. For him to say that this witness will continue to talk about hearsay witness on the guise that apparently that information is siphoned from this witness through under cross-examination is wrong. It's basically misleading this court. For starters, Mr. Baloyi knows that hearsay evidence is inadmissible. And
who is Simpiwe Buthelezi?
He is one of the witnesses in the docket, my lord.
Did he testify here?
No. He passed away, my lord, before the proceeding starts.
When did he pass away?
I'll have to look for his death certificate, my lord, in terms of the date. But it was before the proceeding started.
What is he? The policeman? What is he?
No, he's a civilian. He was. The statement says he was known to this accused, my lord.
So this is the massive problem that is there with Brigadier Gininda. He just drops names when he is giving his evidence, and it's very difficult to cross-examine someone who is just dropping names from nowhere. So here what the defense can do is that they can request a forensic analysis on this evidence that is being presented by Brigadier Gininda. So this forensic analysis would try and authenticate these statements to ensure that they are verified and they are actually true. The reason why the defense has to do that is because Gininda has so many statements that he is presenting in court of people who are no longer with us. If it was just one person, then it could have just been made to just pass and just move on. But the challenge now is that it's occurring over and over again, and Gininda cannot just be allowed to continue in this drive mode. And that is exactly why Advocate Mnisi had to object very, very quickly. But there is one major problem that makes it very, very difficult to authenticate these statements that were taken by Brigadier Gininda. Is that it's Gininda himself who was writing down the statements as the witness was talking. That is what Gininda says. So in such a scenario, it's very difficult to authenticate whether this statement was actually taken down when the witness was actually there, because it's Gininda's handwriting that he used himself. And it is because of this that I think that the defense should have a motion to exclude all of this evidence, because it just cannot be investigated. You just cannot authenticate these statements. And because of that, the failure to authenticate these statements, they should just all of them be excluded as evidence before the court. If the defense, that is Advocate Mnisi, Ramsipili, and Advocate Mshololo, they don't do a motion to exclude this evidence from Brigadier Gininda, they should go for a motion for a mistrial. They should definitely go for that, because the reason why is because of these statements that will be very difficult to verify their integrity. And because of that, they can argue for a mistrial by claiming that these statements that were presented by Brigadier Gininda have been compromised and they lack that integrity with them. Because how can you have a lead investigator who presents over 60% of his evidence from people that are no longer with us? That is just not acceptable. What's more, the defense can even seek criminal charges against the lead investigator for falsifying evidence. That is, if they found like a hint for falsifying of the evidence. That is also another route that they can take. Because the main challenge here is that there can be like a motivational analysis. The lead investigator, Brigadier Gininda, could have had a personal bias as he was investigating this case, and that could lead him to present these statements or start questioning the witness in a way to make sure that it aligns with what he wants. Yes, the statements, he might have taken them from the witnesses, and there might not be any falsifying of the evidence or any fabrication whatsoever. But that personal bias can affect what was written in that statement, and there is no way to prove that. And what's more, as we all know, Brigadier Gininda also has this history where his statements that he actually took from the accused, they were thrown away by the judge because he was found to have obtained them in an unlawful manner. So with such a history, it's very, very difficult to trust this evidence that is being presented by Brigadier Gininda. So definitely the defense should go ahead and prove that these statements are unreliable and it's inadmissible evidence that should be rejected from the court itself. So this is the purpose of the cross-examination, and they should strongly try to focus on attempting to weaken the credibility of this investigation, because as things stand, the integrity of Brigadier Gininda, for me, it's just not looking good at the moment. On the other hand, Gininda, the lead investigator, he has a huge task to try and defend himself. If he indeed truly knows that he took these statements from these witnesses and did not fabricate anything whatsoever, then he can definitely stand his ground because he knows that he did the right thing. He can even bring the statements that he wrote down himself, as he says, and actually present them to the judge and say, this is it. You can go ahead and do a forensic evidence and check everything that you want. And the judge, in such an instant, will have to make the final decision based on what he is seeing. So tell me what you think in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.